Arsenal is going to be taking on a team known as Mansfield at the One All-Star Stadium. That's where the game of football is going to really take place. Now, Mansfield has gone ahead to knock out close to 4 or 5 teams, in this competition to obviously reach this level of the round of 16, where we are going to be having teams knock out the other, go to the round of 8. That is the quarterfinals that many of you are hugely interested in. And the club of Arsenal is really doing a very wonderful job in this particular encounter to see to it that already goes on well as planned. As I told you that this fixture comes in through at a very particular time, or really good time for the club of Arsenal, because it grants them a chance to obviously make what we call wholesome changes by the manager Mikel Arteta to see to it that his side, known as Arsenal, keeps going and running into the very best order, where they will obviously put out a very huge shift as a club of Arsenal. Having gone ahead to be playing in very many games, week in, week out, at least 9-10 players can be rested, because the side they're really facing can obviously be demolished by the second string side for the club of Arsenal. As things go on in the game, Arsenal comes into this game of football after winning against a team known as Brighton by 1-0, and City went ahead to draw, and now Arsenal is 7 points clear ahead of the club of Arsenal. And what does that mean? It really speaks volumes on where the trophy is obviously going to be going. And as I told you that this trophy is really going to Arsenal, and by the end of the game of Arsenal versus Everton and Man City versus West Ham on the weekend, a lot will obviously speak volumes in there for you. So I want to bring you this video and tell you about the match preview about this particular encounter. As a Football One side, I think it's the 3rd tier in the Premier League, takes on what we call the table leaders in the Premier League, that is Arsenal. So do the needful, smash like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are. And let's continue to obviously put in this shift by really subscribing to us and see to it that we really hit those numbers in there. We want to hit 30,000 subscribers on this channel, and I know we can hit those numbers because we are really working tooth and nail to see to it that all really goes on well as the targets are. Now, going to the team news of Arsenal, Saliba missed out on the game of Brighton, and he hasn't been seen in training today. Ben White has not been seen in training today. The other player is Mikel Merino. He's out. We don't know when he's really returning. Then you can talk about Julian Timber has not been seen in training today, right? So those players are really out. Lewis Kelly is suspended because he went ahead to obviously get 2 yellow cards and is really out of this particular fixture that Arsenal is going to be playing away at the One All Stadium in there. So if that's the case, that denies him a chance to obviously get at least a spot in the starting 11 for the club of Arsenal as they take on Mansfield, and his limits are shrinking in as the season goes to the most important side, because as we speak right now, we are into the last corner or the final corner of the season, with Arsenal left with, 9 games? That means they're really having tense games, and those games are being looked at as a final in there for you. So for the club of Arsenal, I want to let you know that those are the players that you're obviously not going to be having. Martin Odegaard has also not been seen, so that means that the manager really has to really look through his team and see who comes in through and who doesn't come in through. Will he obviously look through into the underage teams for the club of Arsenal to obviously get in players to come and represent for the club of Arsenal? That's what you're obviously going to be saying in the next 1 minute. And it's the probable starting 11 for the club of Arsenal, and it's what we call the match preview. Now, system is 4-3-3. He loves it a lot, though sometimes it shifts to a 4-2-3-1 in there. Then we get to that David Raya is the first choice goalkeeper for the club of Arsenal, but we all know to it that in the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, it's Kepa Arrizabalaga coming in through to lead this team as the goalkeeper. And with him being physically fit, having nothing like any knock, he has to represent in this particular fixture to see to it that he really takes it to where it's supposed to be. And that is what we call Kepa Arrizabalaga coming in through to represent to the fullest for the club of Arsenal in there for you. Then we get to the right back. Julian Timberland spotted in training, and I think he needs to rest as he prepares for the game on Tuesday as Arsenal plays away at Bayer Leverkusen. Ben White would have gone ahead to be the immediate step in, but guess what? He missed out on the game of Brighton, and he has been also one of those players that has ensured a lot of presence in the training session today, meaning that he will obviously get to what we call the academy, or sorry, all the unders, and really get in Salomon. But this is not something new to Salomon, because Salomon has been playing in this particular competition, Champions League and the Carabao Cup. So I think the manager trusts him for this kind of game, and he knows to it that he can obviously come up and obviously put out a very huge showcase for the club of Arsenal in there for you. So as things go on, I really anticipate the best for this side of Arsenal in there for you. And I know Salman will put up a show that will obviously maybe send a message to the manager that you don't need to go into the market to obviously get in a right back, because he is one of those that they have to look at as a Benjamin White replacement. Left back, with Lewis Kelly suspended, that means Ricardo Carafiori has a chance to obviously come and really play as a left back. Ever since Ricardo Carafiori went ahead to do that mistake against Wolverhampton Wanderers, that saw Arsenal concede in the dying minutes to see to it that they obviously dropped 2 points. Yet they had obviously gone ahead to lead the game by 2-1. The manager has gone ahead to penalize Ricardo Carafiori, a man who started the season of Arsenal as a starter in every game. Injuries went ahead to sabotage his flow and consistency into his season at Arsenal. Now, the manager is really putting him off the starting list of the Premier League and Champions League games because of what he did. And it's like a penalty to the guy, and the manager is doing it intentionally to obviously motivate him like he did to Ebelechi Eze. And if you're going to hate to see to it that Ebelechi Eze has gone ahead to come in through as a changed man. So, Carafiori is going to start him as a left back. Right side of the central defense, it's going to be Mosquera, a man who was taken off because he had a yellow card, and Brighton's side was really attacking Arsenal left, right, and center. He comes in through to play in there very, very, very well. Mosquera in there. Left side of the center back, Pierre Hincapie comes in through to obviously do the needful. Player on loan from Bayer Leverkusen, but Arsenal will obviously make his loan permanent very, very, very soon in there for you. So from there, we obviously head to what we call the CDM. But before we head in the CDM, it really shows you that Arsenal had to make some 2 beautiful signings. As you see them there, Hincapie and Mosquera coming in through to represent. These players have featured in games against Man City when Saliba and Magalhaes were really away, and they really put out shifts that everyone went ahead to obviously appreciate, as these players were really putting in huge shifts in here onto this particular side. So that's what you're really having in through as the back five for the club of Arsenal. CDM, Zubimendi needs to be rested. I think he needs to recharge his batteries for the game on Wednesday. So I don't want to see him really playing a single minute in this encounter because he might even get injured. So that's where Norgard kicks in through to play the CDM for the club of Arsenal to shield that back four for the side of Arsenal. That is Norgard, who came on through and really represented very well in the previous 2 games against Chelsea and against a team known as Brighton in there. So Declan Rice needs to be rested, and who should the manager bring in through to play the number 8 when even Mikel Merino is injured and Lewis Kelly is not illegible to play because of the accumulated cards? Who do we think should go there? It should be Ebelechi Eze, because in his all talk about his feature in the game, he has talked about of how he wants to become a number 6. And if you want to be a number 6 and you're always going to be playing as a 10, that means you have to first major in playing as a number 8, then you can drop down to the 6, because if you play as a number 8, you find sometimes, almost times, you find yourself playing as a 6 and your team needing you to be played as a 6. So that is Ebelechi Eze. And Kai Havertz will come in through to play as a number 10, and it shows you that the plenty of players are really really helping the club of Arsenal a lot. Remember, at the start of the season, Arsenal really needed those players to put out a very huge show in there for you. So, as it stands, we are having those players in, and I'm 100% sure that that midfield can obviously take on the midfield of Mansfield and obviously collect some huge points. Right forward, I think it's going to be Noni Madeke playing as a right forward. Left forward, it's going to be Leandro Trossard. Then leading the line, it's going to be Gabriel Jesus in there for you. So that's what I expect the manager of Arsenal to obviously field in. But don't be shocked if at all the manager starts Noni Madueke as a left forward and Max Dowman as a right forward in this encounter that's going to be played at the one. It's called the one what? Is it One Football? Okay. Stadium in there for you where things will obviously pan out. Now my prediction, 3-1 for the club of Arsenal. Those are my predictions in there. And thank you for obviously being part of this particular video. I love you guys and see you later. If we happen to obviously come up with another story that will need to be voiced and obviously be uploaded on this channel, because I'm really having some glitches in there for you that I'm going to be solving tomorrow morning. That's when you'll be able to see me on a video. I'm out and good night to you guys. Let's wait and see how Arsenal takes on a team known as Mansfield, you know, and Arteta needs this too to keep his hopes alive of really getting to the levels of lifting these trophies all. This trophy is very important to Mikel Arteta because when he first managed Arsenal in his first season, all half season, because it was on full season, he won it. And he lifted the FA Cup. I'm out.